see that for the land areas, the state Arkansas, the area is 52,068 square miles. Louisiana is 43,204 square miles. Alabama, 50,744 square miles. Oklahoma, 68,667 square miles. Mississippi, 46,907 square miles. Which comparison of two land areas is not true? A, the land area of Alabama is greater than the land area of Mississippi. B, the land area of Arkansas is less than the land area of Alabama. C, the land area of Oklahoma is greater than the land area of Louisiana. D, the land area of Louisiana is less than the land area of Mississippi. What are we looking for? We are looking for the comparison of the two land areas that is not true. Remember, so not true means it's wrong or it's incorrect. What information can help find the answer? Well, our table with the states and also the area can help us, and also the greater than sign and also the less than sign, so that when we compare the square miles of each state, we will know if that answer is correct or if it's wrong. And remember, we are looking for the land area that is not true, so we're actually looking for the comparison that is wrong or incorrect. How to solve the problem? In order for us to solve this problem, what we need to do is compare the square miles of each state. So for A, Alabama, 50,744 is greater than the land area of Mississippi, which is 46,907. Well, yes, 50,744 is greater than 46,907. So this comparison is correct. For B, Arkansas, 52,068 is less than Alabama, which is 50,744. Well, let's think. Is 52,068 less than 50,744? It's not. So that comparison is wrong. C, Oklahoma, 68,667 is greater than Louisiana, 43,204. Well, that is correct because 68,667 is greater than 43,204. And lastly, D, Louisiana, 43,204 is less than Mississippi, which is 46,907. So 43,204 is less than 46,907. So that comparison is correct as well. Now, based on that information, in looking at what is not correct, we know that B is our correct answer because 52,068 is not less than 50,744. So again, in looking for the comparison of the two land areas that is not true, we know that B is the correct answer because that comparison is wrong. Let's move to question number 2. Which of these describes the number 35,824? F, the sum of 3 thousands, 5 thousands, 8 hundreds, 2 tens, and 4 ones. G, the sum of 35 hundreds, 8 tens, and 24 ones. H, the sum of 3 10,000s, 5 thousands, 8 hundreds, 2 tens, and 4 ones. J, the sum of 5 10,000s, 3 thousands, 8 hundreds, 2 tens, and 4 ones. What are we looking for? We are looking for the answer that describes the number 35,824. What information can help find the answer? Well, in order to find the answer for this problem, it would be great for us to have the place value chart, which is below. And it shows from the millions all the way down to the ones. Okay, so once we place our number in the place value chart, we see that the 3 is in the 10,000s column, 5 is in the thousands column, 8 is in the hundreds column, 2 is in the tens column, and 4 is in the ones column. Are there any answers we can cross out? Okay, so in looking at our place value chart, let's take a look at our answers to see if there are any answers we can cross out, which is a good practice to do, because if you can see or cross out answers that you know are incorrect, this increases your chances of getting the question correct. So just take the time whenever you're taking the STAAR test, take time to see, are there any questions, are there any answers I know are incorrect? Because if I cross those out before I start working the problem, I can increase my chances of getting that problem correct. Okay? So let's look again. F says the sum, and we know sum means add. The sum of 3 thousands, 5 thousands, 8 hundreds, 2 tens, and 4 ones. G, the sum of 35 hundreds, 8 tens, and 24 ones. H, the sum of 3 10,000s, 5 thousands, 8 hundreds, 2 tens, and 4 ones. J, the sum of 5 10,000s, 3 thousands, 8 hundreds, 2 tens, and 4 ones. So let's just take a moment and look at these answer choices to see if there are any that we can cross out. If you said we can cross out F, G, and J, you are correct. So let's take a look. Well, for F, we know that that is incorrect because we have 3 thousands. No, 3 is in the 10,000s place. So we automatically know that that answer is incorrect. We can cross it out. The sum of 3,500s, that's possible, but we don't have 8 tens. So that answer is incorrect as well because they're not 8 tens. They're 8 hundreds. And J, the sum of 5 10,000s, well, we immediately know that is incorrect because if we look at our place value chart, there is a 3 in our 10,000s place. So again, F, J, and G can be crossed out. And just like that, we have the correct answer. H, the sum of 3 10,000s, 5 thousands, 8 hundreds, 2 tens, and 4 ones. Let's move to question number 3. The list shows 3 clues about a number. Clue 1. The number is less than 6,538. Clue 2. The number is greater than 6,355. Clue number 3. The number has a digit less than 5 in the hundreds place. Which of these could be the number described? A. 6,549. B. 6,268. C. 6,519. D. 6,449. What are we looking for? We are looking for the answer that can be described, can be the number being described. What information can help find the answer? Well, all of our clues, okay? All of our clues are what can help us find the answer. So, what answers can be crossed out? Let's take a look. So let's look at clue number 1 and see if there are any answers that can be crossed out. We know from clue number 1, the number is less than 6,538. So looking at our answer choices, are there any answers that are less than 6,538? Okay, so let's look at our second clue, and we're not going to get the answer yet. We'll wait to see on the next slide if what you guessed is correct, okay? For the next clue, clue number 2, the number is greater than 6,355, okay? So in looking at our answer choices, is there any answers that are greater than 6,355? I think I see some. And last clue, clue number 3. The number has a digit less than, which means smaller than, 5 in the hundreds place. So, looking at our answer choices, can you see out of the answers you have left if there's a number less than 5 in the hundreds place? Let's see if you were able to cross out any of those answer choices. If you said you could cross out A, B, and C, you are correct. So let's take a look. For clue number 1, the number is less than 6,538. Well, all of the answer choices are except A. A is greater than that. So that is how we were able to cross out A, because actually A is greater than 6,538. So we crossed that one out. Second clue, the number is greater than 6,355. So the number, in looking at our answer choices, are there any answers that are lower than 6,355? Yes, B is. So now we were able to, with those 2 clues, we were able to cross out A because it's actually greater than 6,538, and also B because it's lower than or less than 6,355. Let's look at our third clue. The number has a digit less than 5 in the hundreds place. So the only 2 answer choices we see that we have left after the first 2 clues are C and D. Well, in looking at C, actually there is a 5 in the hundreds place. It's not less than 5, so that is how we were able to cross out C. And just like that, we have the correct answer. Do you see why it's good to just take time to figure out, are there any answers that we can cross out? Because if so, it increases your chances of getting the answer, the problem correct, not the answer, and getting the problem correct. So our correct answer is D, 6,449. That number is less than 6,538. Check, that's correct. It's greater than 6,355. Check, that's correct as well. And lastly, yes, the number in the hundreds place is less than 5 because in the hundreds place, there is a 4. Let's move to question number 4. The point on the number line represents the amount of money needed to build a garage. So let's look at our number line. We see that it's 4,000 to 5,000. And we have a dot for the amount needed. And right before that dot, there is another slash. So I'm thinking if that's between 4,000 and 5,000, it's the middle, that slash in the middle is 4,500. All right, let's move on. I was just giving an observation. Which statement best describes the amount of money needed to build the garage? F, the amount of money needed is more than 5,000. G, the amount of money needed is less than 4,000. H, the amount of money needed is about 5,000 because the point is closer to 5,000. And J, the amount of money needed is about 4,000 because the point is closer to 4,000. What are we looking for? And when we ask that question, basically whatever sentence has a question mark, that is what we're looking for. So in our problem, what sentence or statement has a question mark? If you said which statement best describes the amount of money needed to build the garage, you are correct, okay? Remember, always find out what you're looking for, highlight it, circle it, underline it, put a star by it, do whatever you need so that as you're solving the problem, you know that you are looking for the right thing, because if not, you can answer wrong if you're not clear on what you're looking for. And usually that is a statement or a sentence that ends in a question mark, okay? What information can help find the answer? Well, we know that the amount needed is more than 4,000 because looking at our number line, the dot that shows the amount needed, it's more than 4,000, but it's less than 5,000. It's kind of, and remember we have that slash in between, that line in between as well. So that's information that we need. In looking at our answer choices based on that information, are there any are there any answers that we can cross out? Okay, let's take a look. So F says the amount of money needed is more than 5,000. So let's look at the highlighted information in yellow. Well, no, what we said is that the amount needed is less than 5,000 and the amount needed is more than 5,000. It is more than 4,000. I apologize. Let me say it again. The amount needed is more than 4,000. So looking at our answer choices, are there any answers we can immediately cross out because we know they are wrong? And again, it's always good to take this step because in doing so, you can increase your chances of getting the problem correct. Let's see if we came up with the same thing of what we can cross out. If you said you can cross out F and G, you are correct because F says the amount of money needed is more than 5,000. Well, we know that that's not true. Okay, and also it says the amount of money needed is less than 4,000. So that would mean like maybe 3,000, and then that's not correct because on our number line it's between $4,000 and $5,000. Okay, let's see how we can solve the problem. So let's look at our number line. Is it closer to 4,000 or is it closer to 5,000? What do you think? If you said that the amount needed is closer to 5,000, you are correct because we said again that there's a line in between $4,000 and $5,000. So that means that's $4,500. Well, that's closer actually to 5,000, and you can see it on the number line. So what is our correct answer? Drum roll, please. H. The amount of money needed is about 5,000 because the point is closer to 5,000. Did you get that correct? If so, good. If not, it's okay. Just take a look to see what you may have done incorrectly so that you can get it right next time. Let's move to question number 5. The models shown are the same size and are each divided into equal parts. The models are shaded to show two fractions. Based on the models, which statement is true? Okay, so let's look at our models. On the left-hand side, we see that the circle is separated into how many sections? 3, okay? The circle on the left-hand side is divided into 3 sections, and there are 2 sections that are shaded, which means there's 1 section that's not shaded. And then looking at the circle on the right, it's divided into 8 different parts, and there are 2 sections that are shaded, and that means there are 6 sections that are not shaded. Let's look at our answer choices. Let's see the problem again. Based on the models, which statement is true? A. 1/3 is greater than 6/8 because thirds are larger than eighths. B. 2/3 is greater than 2/8 because two shaded parts out of 3 parts is greater than 2 shaded parts out of 8 parts. C. 1/3 is less than 3/8 because 1 shaded part out of 3 parts is less than 2 shaded parts out of 8 parts. And D. 2/3 is less than 2/8 because thirds are smaller than eighths. What are we looking for? We are looking for, based on the models, the statement or the answer choice that is true. Okay? What information can help us find the answer? Well, looking again at the left-hand circle, we know that there is 1/3 that's unshaded and 2/3 is shaded. And for the right-hand circle, there are 6/8 that is unshaded or not shaded and 2/8 that is shaded. All right, so let's ask our question. Are there any answer choices that can be crossed out? Let's take a moment and look. Okay, so A says 1/3, that's the left-hand side, okay, the unshaded of the left-hand side, is greater than 6/8, which 6/8 is the unshaded part on the right, because thirds are larger than eighths. So we're going to ask ourselves, is that correct? Is 1/3, the unshaded part on the left, is greater than the unshaded part on the right? B, 2/3, that's the shaded part on the left, is greater than 2/8, that's the shaded part on the circle on the right, because 2 shaded parts out of 3 parts is greater than 2 shaded parts out of 8 parts. C, 1/3, which is the unshaded circle, the unshaded section on the left-hand side, is less than 2/8. That's actually the shaded part on the right-hand side, because remember, 2/8 is shaded on the right-hand part, because 1 shaded part out of 3 parts is less than 2 shaded parts out of 8 parts. So on this answer, we're looking at the unshaded part on the left. Is that less than or smaller than the shaded part on the right? Let's see. Lastly, D, 2/3, which is the shaded part on the left-hand side, is less than 2/8, because thirds are smaller than eighths. So in this answer choice, we're asking, or we're saying, that the shaded part on the left is less than, or another way to say it, is smaller than the shaded part on the right. Based on that information, are there any answer choices that can be crossed out? Yes. If you said answer choice A, C, and D can be crossed out, you are correct. So let's take a look. 1/3 is greater than 6/8. No, that's incorrect. So the unshaded part on the left is not greater than the unshaded part on the right. Okay, and that was like, should have been a pretty easy one, because in comparing, you see that the unshaded part on the left is significantly smaller than the unshaded part on the right. So it could not be greater than. Okay. C, 1/3, which is the unshaded part, is less than 2/8, which is the shaded part on the right hand side. So in comparing those, the unshaded part on the left and the shaded part on the right, no, actually 1/3 is not less than 2/8. So that is incorrect as well. And for D, 2/3, which is the shaded part on the left, is less than 2/8. In looking, you see, no, that's not correct as well. Okay, so again, that is how we were able to cross out A, C, and D. Those answers are incorrect. Our answer choice that's left is B. B is correct because 2/3 is greater than 2/8. This has been questions number 1 to 5 in the 3rd grade STAAR Math Test Prep Workbook. And again, if you would like to purchase the book to follow along with the videos, there will be a link for purchasing the digital copy and also a hard copy on Amazon. Also coming up is the 3rd grade STAAR Math Test Prep Bootcamp. Both dates are on Sunday. The first one is April 29th. Mark your calendar. And there will be another one May 13th from 1 to 4 p.m. I will have links for both of those dates so that you can click on it and save a seat or reserve a spot so that you can have your child, or you can, if you're the student, take part in the boot camp so that you can be successful on the STAAR math test. And what's even greater, we are offering $15 off all STAAR math boot camps. There will also be a link in the description box for so that you can get the 15 off coupon. And don't forget to subscribe, because we will have more videos for 3rd grade all the way up to Algebra 1 STAAR Math Prep Workbooks. This is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. Talk to you later.